Step 1, wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, and that's Deacon, and wrong way. That's Deacon, and I'm JJ, and we are your two dads. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, 6:30 in the morning, to tell you the news, to tell you the most important things in the world, to give you information for free. We only ask that you like and subscribe.
It is for free. We're doing this for free.
For free.
We love it.
Honestly, this is just therapy for Deacon and me.
It really is. What's up, dude?
Hey, good morning, Darren.
Hello there.
Hey, how are you? Let me see. This is a little bit weird.
Oh, you messaged me. I need to message you back.
Yeah, I just said wake up.
Oh,
I said, hey, sleepyhead. How you feeling? How are you feeling this morning, Deacon?
I have been I'm feeling good this morning. I changed the time that I took my certain medicine.
Yeah,
it's kind of helped out a little bit.
That's good.
So I'm hoping that maybe that was the problem. So yeah, for 2 days we're puke free for 2 days now.
That's amazing. Honestly, that is amazing.
I had to get rid of my
I see that you've shorn
beards. Yeah.
Is that anticipation of No Beard November?
I thought about that earlier. I've never done.
What is it? It's November. Is it No Beard November, or is it?
They have the mustache one.
It's no shave.
No shave November. Yeah, and then they have the Movember with the mustache thing.
Right,
but I'll just look like creepy pedophile 70s porn guy if I have a mustache on. I do not look like Tom Selleck. I look like Tom Selleck's pedophile.
I mean, it's amazing how some people can just make it look good.
Yeah,
other people, it's like, bro,
it's like, whoa, you need
do
to shave.
anything else.
Anything else with the mustache. So yeah, I know I can beat everybody in No Shave November. I usually don't participate in it. But I was I usually grow my beard out for the winter because it keeps my face warm. It really does. And I've got the play coming up, and I don't know what he wants me to be for Bob Cratchit. I don't know if I need the.
You have to have the pork chops.
Pork chop sideburns. That's what I'm thinking.
What you need.
Yeah. So the big. You got to tell her it's for a play.
No, it's not just to walk around with pork chop sideburns.
It's for a play.
It's for a play. He's going to be Ebenezer Scrooge. Are you being Ebenezer Scrooge?
Cratchit.
He's Bob Cratchit.
And Jacob Marley and Charles Dickens.
Ashley, what does Ashley think?
Ashley's very proud because I wouldn't do something like this. I would, he's
never done a play before. So this is like
that is pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So it's for like an actual drama thing.
Yes.
Yeah. It's for community theater.
Christmas.
Yeah. Children. It's community theater.
If you would watch the show sometime.
I've been teaching during your show for like 8 weeks.
So as we get closer to Thanksgiving and Christmas, we'll hear more updates about the play and maybe see some photos.
Yeah. Right now, I'm just we've had 2 rehearsals and I'm just trying to memorize lines.
Yeah. Let's see.
It's fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah, that's good. And the robot that I set up to announce our show in my secret chat channel, guess what didn't work? Didn't work. Yeah.
Hello, person watching.
Hello, person watching. Probably my brother. It's somebody on YouTube. Also, Brian Perkins is watching on Rumble. Thank you, Brian. Brian, I acknowledge you on the Rumble
Brian.
ranting over here. So I got that up. I hope you have your Rumble rant screen up. Deek. Okay, we got some news. We got some interesting news. We got some horrifying news. We have a little bit of a political update. We've got the title. So the hardest thing to do for this show is to come up with a title and a thumbnail that it would be somebody like, yeah, maybe I would want to watch that.
You're not telling me nothing. You started the titles for the podcast, and then I had to take over when you left. And I'm like, geez, JJ, I've got to come up with this.
And for the podcast, I was always trying to make them sing song or
sing songy or rhyme or something interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and this time it's more like, can it just be, I don't know. I don't exactly know what I'm doing. I think that's pretty,
I didn't see what. Oh, is James Gunn the DCEU Superman? Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. I like that.
I think it's not bad. It's not bad.
Rhyme or anything. That's good.
Yeah,
it gets my attention.
It's like,
I don't know.
That's provoking. I wonder what he means by that, since obviously James Gunn is not an actor as his number one job. So we'll get to that to the end of the show. But yesterday morning, right after the show, Deacon, I saw this story, and it's not funny. It is mind-boggling.
Okay.
But it's horrible. It's a horrible story. So here's the thing. I recognize and understand that I am constantly kind of like grinning and laughing and goofing. And so it doesn't do good to convey dramatic information.
Yeah.
I know that there's like a mismatch of tone and story sometimes. Nothing I can do about that. I'm just a jovial person. What am I supposed to do? I saw this story yesterday, and so we're just going to get this out of the way. A woman goes to work, gets swallowed by a 22-foot python. She's eaten. A woman went to work and got eaten by a 22-foot python. It's horrible. This doesn't. It doesn't even process correctly. Like, why? It's the 21st century. Why is a woman? So turns out this woman is a tree tapper. Her name was Jarrah. She was
I missed this.
Yeah, you didn't see it.
No, I had to talk real quick. So let me get the headline.
Yeah. The headline: Woman goes to work, gets swallowed whole by a 22-foot python.
What the hell?
Exactly, dude. Exactly. So this woman, Jarrah, 54, she left her home and she went to work. She's a tree tapper. So down in Central America. Yeah. Oh, sorry, down in Indonesia. So she works as a tree tapper on a rubber plantation. So they literally climb a tree or go to a tree and tap, and then they have they get the sap to come out and they turn that into rubber. It's a commodity, and it's So she didn't come home later that day, and her husband sounded an alarm. Well, the first sign that something was wrong was the discovery of her sandals, her jacket, headscarf, and a knife on the floor, a forest floor. The second sign was a giant bloated snake encountered by the search party looking for her the following morning. The following morning, dude.
Imagine finding that freaking snake bloated.
The rest of my life would be like, kill all snakes. All snakes. Like everyone.
That poor guy, man.
I know. And I don't know. She's 54, so she probably had kids.
She probably had kids, yeah.
She probably had grandkids.
Yeah. Man, that's terrible.
It's
God, how freaking, that's something that, I mean, honestly, that's something that, this is something that I try to remember and try to look at positive ways sometimes. Okay. This is a terrible situation, but we are privileged enough to live in a country where I don't have to worry about going to work and getting eaten by a snake.
This is something you would see in a movie. This is not something you would see and expect to be reality. No, it is crazy.
So the people that complain about what's going on with you, I mean, sometimes you need to look at the little things in life that.
Yeah, man, I don't want to hear you as woe is me about your cubicle job or working at a restaurant or not getting.
I swear to God, I used to work with this guy who used to complain about working in radio almost every day. And one day I just got sick of it. And I was like, dude, have you ever roofed a house? You're not digging ditches. You're sitting on your ass talking into a microphone. Shut up.
Yeah.
Quit complaining. Man, that's terrible. What happened? Hang on. The search team killed the reptile and sliced open its stomach where they discovered her remains.
Yeah. So now the first thing is like, oh my God, it just swallowed her and she died and suffocated. No,
I think it
probably did the death coil
and
constricted. And she would, and this is probably even more awful. She would have been wrapped up and then takes a breath.
And couldn't breathe.
Breathes out, and when she breathes out, the thing gets tighter. She can't breathe back in, and every time it would have been
goodness gracious.
Horrible. Yeah, well, good God.
Makes me want to take a breath this morning. Let's go.
Hey, that's not too bad. That's pretty good. I know what you can do when you take a breath, Deacon.
We're scaring the hell out of us this morning, Halloween season.
Hey, we're getting up to Halloween.
Good God.
Spooky month. Spooky. Here you go. Deacon, take a breath, take a deep breath.
Hey, man.
Marijuana company sued for not making customers high enough. Deacon, I'm going to turn this over to you. Explain to me what's going on.
Hey, man, my dealer, dude, didn't give me the good stuff, man.
You need props. You need like the glasses, the shaded glasses that are like rose-colored and a dreadlock.
I used to do a character on a radio station called Doug Nug. Doug Nug, man, was like, I filled the snack machines, dude. So I keep your munches in order, dude, so you can always have your munch station.
Somehow we're on the wrong.
So yeah, okay. So a California cannabis company is being sued by two local potheads for allegedly lying about the potency of its products. Jasper, whoever of Long Beach, and Blake Pothead of Fresno filed a lawsuit. I mean,
hey, you know what, Deacon? Let me just give these guys big props. I know it was tough to get off your couch and put down the potato chips.
Jesse,
whatever you had to do,
started looking for their car and couldn't find it anywhere last week, and they decided that the weed that they bought was, So I guess I mean, you're coming across this. You're going to come across stuff like this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So
this is what you get for legalizing pot.
It's what you get for legalizing anything. I mean, we're facing this in anything. You want to buy some Viagra, you're going to find some fake Viagra. You want to buy some whatever, you're going to find some fake whatever. They're going to make fake stuff and they're going to give you crappy stuff. Okay, I will admit, I'm a 46-year-old man. I've smoked weed for I don't now, but I did for 20 years every day. I was a marijuana advocate. I used it over pills because I have a back problem, and it did give me a head buzz anymore. But I wish I couldn't get that head buzz. If it was legal in Kentucky, I would get the stuff that I couldn't give a head buzz that would affect my body. It's a different strain of weed. It's it's more for my body, and it would help my back, completely help my back. But what was I getting at? Oh, I've smoked for years and years. What was I?
What was I saying, man?
So I've smoked for years and years and years. So people's tried to screw you. If you buy weed, you get screwed over sometimes. I mean, you just do. I used to get weed that tasted like Dr. Pepper. It would be real sticky, and you know the sticky weed, sticky icky is the best. Well, they would spray freaking Dr. Pepper and soda and shit on this to make it sticky, so they could sell it for more because it was sticky, or they would do something to it, you know. So they've screwed over this stuff for years, and now that they've got it in stores, yeah, you're going to probably get some CBD instead of weed, and that's probably what the honest is. They probably smoke some really low strain of marijuana.
It says that the company that produces it markets its products as having higher than average levels of THC.
It's a plant, man.
Right. But an independent laboratory test said that the pre-rolls do not have higher concentration of chemical. So basically they're being sued for marketing.
It's just a couple of damn potheads that didn't get a damn buzz. And honestly, it's probably because they smoke every freaking day and they can't, you know, we used to get high off of one joint. Well, yeah, hey there, freaking stoner. You smoke every day. You can't get high off the same thing anymore. Which is what you're going to encounter with marijuana. I had another absolutely terrible story we won't have to get into, but I'll mention it.
Yeah.
Where a child recently got into his mother's THC gummies. And
yes, I saw you post that, and we didn't have time to get to it.
Yeah, but the child, this was terrible. The child got into the gummies, the THC gummies, and ate, I guess, every one of them and died.
Oh my God.
And ended up dying from, and the doctor said that he died from a THC overdose, which is unheard of. I had always heard that in order
that's
to
what they say.
die
There was
from
nobody
THC
ever died from
overdose. Yeah, you'd have to smoke like a joint every second for like a week or something. It's something ungodly. So yeah, it's terrible stuff. And these gummies, I'm sure there's going to be something, new laws come up with gummies and candies and edibles and stuff like that, because that's what they talked about. Those gummies are just in like a little Ziploc baggie, you know, a little baggie or a little screw off top, and there's no locking mechanism or anything on these gummies or anything.
They don't put them in child safety.
They look just like fucking regular bears. They look like
gummies. They don't put them in child safe packages.
No. And you can go in Kentucky, you can buy the Delta 8. So this stuff is the Delta 8. It's CBD, and it's got the lowest amount of marijuana THC in it, like 0.003 or something like that. So this is not marijuana. This is Delta 8 CBD. But the CBD gummies are just as bad, is what I've heard. They don't affect me as much. My brother told me not too long ago, he said, man, I got a bag of CBD gummies I'm going to give you. I don't like them. I was like, why? He's like, I took one and it knocked me out, man. I didn't like it. I was like, oh, okay. So, I mean, the grown man taking one, and he was like, whoa, it just knocked him out.
Right.
So, yeah, this is something that our country is going to have to adapt to, is the legalization of this stuff. And I'm all for it to help. My mother would still be alive today if marijuana was legal. I'll just say that. She would not.
Yeah.
If marijuana was legal, I could have got her marijuana to help with her, and she wouldn't have gotten hooked on them damn legal drug dealer, pill pushing doctors that ended up killing her. So
yeah, I mean the big pharma stuff is
big pharmaceutical.
Well, you know what? I don't have an opinion. YouTube.
Yeah, big pharmaceutical killed my mother.
All right. How awful we went from
I know it's all right.
Mom.
I mean, it's crazy.
Sorry,
but, no.
All right. Well, here we go. Change the subject. God, good God.
No, change the subject. I'm good.
I definitely am gonna. Okay, so this is not gonna be a big one. This is just gonna be a hit on this one. The Trump legal team has received their January 6th committee subpoena. So you probably heard a couple days ago that the J6 committee, with all their legitimacy, used their subpoena powers to call the former president of the United States, and they're subpoenaing him. Well, that document has been delivered. We will now wait to see. That was delivered last night about 6
in a candy bucket.
Yeah, trick or treat. It was delivered last night, and we will wait to see what the Trump legal team does to respond to this. I do not foresee Donald Trump testifying before the J6 committee, which you know, they will probably try to get him, I don't know, like charged with doing what they did to Bannon, right? With this, what they did to Bannon. Bannon said, "I'm not testifying before your kangaroo committee." And then Bannon was sentenced to 4 months in prison, currently awaiting appeal or something like that. So now we have seen the Supreme Court issue a stay when Georgia tried to call Lindsey Graham to testify. And just yesterday, I think Kagan issued a stay when Arizona GOP were subpoenaed for something in Arizona, and Kagan issued a stay for that. So we'll see if the Supreme Court issues a stay on this subpoena or not. A lot of times, especially with legal stuff, you have to wait till like the Supreme Court can't stay this before the subpoena is delivered. So now that it's been delivered, the Supreme Court could say, you really can't do that. He's an executive, but maybe they won't. We don't know. So we'll see how this develops. But I'm just covering this story now so that whenever we cover the fallout of this in the next week or two, we will have covered it previously. I just wanted to mention that one. Do you remember me speaking about Maya Flores? Deacon?
Maybe.
Maya Flores is a House representative. That maybe means, yeah, I mean, you've said it before, but I didn't care then. I'm not sure I care now. It's okay. Hey, it's okay. We're both doing our jobs right now. Maya Flores is the House representative that was elected in a special election in March to fill the congressional seat for the Del Rio sector, Texas. Yeah. Okay. She is actually notable for being not only a Hispanic Latina woman, she is the first Mexican-born Congresswoman of the United States House Representatives. She was born in Mexico. She's a United States citizen.
That's
elected
awesome.
Totally awesome.
I think that is freaking awesome.
I have no problem with it.
No,
no like that's who the people chose. Yeah. She's pretty popular. She's more popular among the Latinas than among Hispanics than AOC. We covered that a few days ago. I think I have a story that covered that. Well. Now, I know you've heard before of the Congressional Black Caucus.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes, I have.
Okay. And you would imagine the Congressional Black Caucus, that would probably be Congress people that are black, serving, making a group. Did you know there is a Congressional Hispanic Caucus?
Yeah, I actually did know that.
Oh,
yes.
Did you know that? Oh, okay. Yes. Well, you do read the news every day. Yeah. I mean, for your show. And
yeah,
I wasn't intimately familiar. Now, you would think a group that calls itself the Congressional Hispanic Caucus would say, "Oh, Ms. Flores, welcome to Congress. We recognize your Latin heritage.
Flores is definitely a
we recognize you, and it's in your especially important position, being the first Mexican-born U.S. Congresswoman. So welcome to the club." That's what right. That would be like, that is obviously what happens. Except Maya Flores has been prevented from joining the Congressional Hispanic Caucus.
Let me guess. Because she's Republican?
That's right. That is right, sir.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. The American public is about the stupidest fucking people that I've ever seen in the history of reading history books. Do you not understand what we're doing? Do we not understand where we're going, the road that we have taken, the path that you have chosen? Do you not see? I'm not going to live long enough to see the fruits of your labor, the piss poor fruits of your labor. What's going to happen? I won't be alive to see it, but my grandchildren will. I see where this is going. I think I see where this is going, but I like to think that I'm a kind of an educated person. I study certain things.
The pendulum swings both ways, right? If it goes this far this way, then, and I don't want it to, but it's gonna go the other way. It's gonna be like people are gonna get so pushed so far to this identitarian, this racial reactionary, then that they're gonna go all the way the other way, and the whole country is gonna be like super conservative for a while. And I'm not gonna be like, that's not good. I don't want my rights being constrained.
And it only takes a couple of generations to do that, JJ. I mean, it only takes a couple of generations now with the internet and with information being out there so quickly.
Right.
You can surgically strike on the internet specific spots and change opinions in probably 10 years. I mean, I would say 10 to 15 years. I used to make that joke that like in a generation, if you started telling your girls right now that the sky is green and the grass is blue, and that's what it's called, they would tell their children and their children would tell their children. And I used to make the joke that in 4 or 5 generations, that would be a fact. It would be a fact now that the sky is green, the grass is blue, because your father and his father and his father, they all told him. So it's now a fact. So I used to use that to prove how easy it is over the years to tell a false piece of information. And that piece of information goes on for 200 years. And now all of a sudden we think Paul Revere rode and did all this shit by himself. And that's not how it really happened. That's how somebody told it.
Ministry of Truth needs to keep its job. You gotta
right. And it sounded good. So now with the internet, we can change information so quickly. It's not like 4 generations anymore. It's like 10 years or 15 years. I can change the opinions and the whole thought processes of young people starting at like 9 and 10 years old. And by the time they get 16 and 17, I have almost solidified that information in their head, and not a lot of them, only the very smart ones come out of that in their 20s and 30s and change their minds and actually open their brains. Most of these 20s and 30-year-old women and men that are out there, the average, they're dumbasses that are very easily manipulated.
I mean, definitely there's low information, right? First of all, it's hard to get information that isn't framed in a way to make you think a thing. And then you have the whole rest of your life that you're trying to navigate. Like, I'm trying to get a job, trying to get married, trying to have kids, trying to make sure I pay my house. Like you're not necessarily, you only have so much human bandwidth.
Right.
So of course you're going to get lied to. Guys, all day today, you will be lied to all day long. And you won't know who's lying. You can't be like, oh, I figured it out. It's these guys that lie. No, it's everybody. It's everybody lying.
Yeah, that's life, man. You have to decide, okay, whose bullshit am I going to put up with today? And whose am I just going to and whose am I going to slide, and whose am I going to call out? There was a guy I used to work with here at this radio station that lied about everything. And I was just like, whatever. I'm like, the Dow, be like water.
So let me read this statement from Ms. Flores, and then you'll be totally shocked by the follow up there. So Ms. Flores. So first of all, the Congressional Hispanic Caucus website states that the caucus addresses national and international issues and crafts policies that impact Hispanic people. However, the website does not say that only Democrats can join, but apparently only Democrats can join. So Ms. Flores said, as the first Mexican-born congresswoman to serve in the U.S. House of Representatives, I thought joining the Congressional Hispanic Caucus would be a constructive way to build bridges and to work in a bipartisan manner on behalf of our constituents. I was wrong. This denial once again proves a bias towards conservative Latinas that don't fit their narrative ideology. That's what she told Town Hall. It turns out that not only is Miss Flores the first Republican to be denied to join a caucus, there is a similar issue happened to Representative Byron Donalds, a Republican from Florida, who was prevented from joining the Congressional Black Caucus last year. The Congressional Black Caucus has a stated commitment to ensuring Black Americans have the opportunity to achieve the American dream. As a newly elected Black member of Congress, my political party should not exempt me from a seat at the table dedicated to achieving that goal. So
that just shows you that what they have said and what they have told us that they have stood for years and years and years was a bunch of fucking lies. They lied to your fucking face, and all of us crazy motherfuckers that tried to tell you that they were lying to your face, and you called us a bunch of idiots and a bunch of morons and a bunch of racists.
Oh, JJ, the Republicans lie too. Yes, they do.
Yes. Oh, yeah. The Republicans. You are absolutely right. They lied.
But right now,
right now,
the Democrats are walking around with a couple puppet organizations. They got a puppet Black caucus and a puppet Hispanic caucus, and they're pretending they're legitimate, and they're not. All right. let's get back to some. We're gonna do border news, guys. We got border news, but I think I've got these lined up where it goes dink, dink, dink. We got a couple dominoes. But before I get into border news, allow me to remind you that if you're not already, you can go to rumble.com/JJW. You can hit that little rumble button. It's just like a like button. Give us some likes. I am up to 992 rumbles. I don't know what that means. It's totally unclear. I have no idea, but let's get that score up. And let's get some more people watching the show. So if you haven't already, hit the share button and share it on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and Twitcher and MySpace or whatever you have. Email it to your friends. I don't care. Just get some people in here. We need some more. We need some more people chit-chatting. All right. Let me get rid of that. Here we go. Migrant news. We got some migrant news. From Breitbart.com, 32 migrants found locked in a U-Haul truck after pursuit near a border in Arizona. The driver of a U-Haul truck in Arizona led Border Patrol agents on a high-speed pursuit with a group of migrants locked in the rear cargo area. The migrants had no means of escape in the event of a crash or abandonment. Tucson Sector Chief Patrol Agent John Maudlin tweeted photos of groups of migrants rescued by agents from the rear of the U-Haul box truck. The driver of the truck failed to yield when agents assigned to the Tucson station attempted to stop the truck for an immigration inspection along the IH-10. When the agents activated its emergency lights and siren, the driver attempted to evade apprehension and speed away from to the west from Tucson. The driver eventually stopped on a rural road located southwest of Tucson, the Border Patrol agent said. And the driver and front seat passenger bailed out of the truck and fled into the darkness. The agents searched for the two fugitives, but they were unable to locate them. So they opened the truck and surprise, 32 migrants in the back of the truck. So these guys, I mean, this is such a, how many times is this happening that we don't know about? This is so dangerous. It's Arizona. Now, luckily it's like October, so it's not die in the back of a truck weather yet, but the truck would have been closed and it locked. They couldn't have gotten out. This is totally nuts. So 32 migrants were rescued from the truck. I hope they catch those guys.
Have you seen the pictures? I think I saw it on Reddit. Did you see the pictures? These weren't migrants, I don't guess, but they probably are actually. They're pictures of a traffic cam or something that's shooting straight down onto the highway. And it's pictures of the back of work trucks that are going down the highway, and all of the migrant workers laying down in the back of the truck going to their
trying to stay under.
So they're not setting up. They're all sitting laying in the cab, so they won't get in trouble for sitting in the cab, or not in the cab, in the tailgate.
Yeah,
but it's funny. There was a bunch of them, a bunch of pictures of 2 or more of the migrant workers that lay down in the trucks when they were passed by this particular camera that was catching. They weren't catching them; they were just taking pictures and showing them. So, it's funny. I know y'all do down in Texas, but we actually in our area have a lot of migrant workers that come up for the farms. We have a lot of farmland around here, and they come up and work the farms and stuff.
Hold on, I have to highlight this. Thank you, David, for your contribution. He just linked our show on his GeoCities account.
You know why? Because David is from Kentucky, and Kentucky people are the greatest people on the planet. Period. Period.
Thank you, David. Deep appreciation. All right, so we remain in Arizona, but now we're going to shift over to the Mark Kelly. Democrat Mark Kelly has sacrificed Arizona to open borders cruelty, advertisement says. This is again on Breitbart.com.
What does that mean?
He's in an election to get reelected as senator of Arizona, and so there's an attack against him from Firebrand Action and Heritage Action. Arizona, we have a problem. That's a joke because he was an astronaut, guys. If you didn't realize that this guy was an astronaut, doesn't he look like he has astronaut face?
Honestly, he does kind of look like an older astronaut. Honestly,
yeah, I know it's true. Okay. So the death toll from borders keeps climbing. The people of Arizona are suffering, and yet Democrats are nowhere to be found. So the advertisement from Firebrand and Heritage goes on to list the consequences of Mark Kelly and Joe Biden's open borders policies: endless illegal immigration, record drug overdoses, gruesome gang violence, human trafficking pipelines. While Arizona suffers, Mark Kelly has stars in his eyes. He's raised millions of dollars from Hollywood celebrities who support open borders, and in fact, he acts like California's third senator. Open borders hurt innocent people. I mean, I literally just had a story of a bunch of migrants packed into a box truck. I mean, that truck could have crashed, dude, and they would have been like, "Oh wow, there was a truck crash, and we found 32 dead people."
Yeah. Yeah, and then they would say, it's a tragedy, and Democrats would have jumped on that.
Yeah, right. I'm like, I mean, all right. Let's see. I think I had. So let me pull this up. We have. Well, I'll just tell you guys over on Real Clear Politics. If you look at the Kelly and Masters Senate race now. Okay, so Mark Kelly is a senator in Arizona, and he's running for re-election. He's currently, the spread is 1.5 points in favor of Mark Kelly. Now, a few days ago, it was 2 point something points, and basically that is shrinking. Is Mark Kelly popular? Is he unpopular? I don't know. I think, though, that there's going to be splash from the popularity of Kelly of oh my God, Carrie Lake. So Carrie Lake is the super popular Republican candidate running for governor of Arizona, and as citizens go into the ballot booth to vote for Carrie Lake, I think they may also vote for the Republican for the Senate. So Mark Kelly has his own problem of shrinking support, and then also may have a down ballot result because I'm pretty sure the governor's race may be ahead of the ticket, and Carrie Lake is definitely driving action in the polls there. So we will see. Don't eat from the spoon that fell on the floor.
No, it fell on the desk. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay. There was something else I was going to mention about this. It'll probably come back while I'm talking about something else. Okay. Last political story that I think, and then we will get into our headline. Louisiana Attorney General says Americans are subjects, not citizens, when their speech is suppressed by the government.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
What a good line.
Yeah,
that is a very good line.
Yeah,
he was he's speaking specifically of government cooperation, or government calling social media, calling Facebook, like literally the White House calling Facebook or Twitter and saying, "Hey,
take it down.
Can you take this down?" Yeah, right.
Yeah, they've done that before. You don't think they do that?
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah, hell
Not only do they do that, they probably got their own like backdoor accounts where they can go in and be like, "Oh, look, we're not going to change anything. We just want to make sure that people are doing it." And you know, Twitter. You know, that's the big deal with Elon Musk and Twitter, is that Tim Pool has been floating this idea that he thinks that what happened was Elon made a bid to buy Twitter, and then after it was like accepted, there was non-disclosure agreements signed, and then once there were non-disclosure agreements signed, you know, Twitter had to turn over some information to Elon for fair to do the purchase, so that you know what you're buying. And some of the things that they turned over was like a letter from the NSA that says, we have, for national security, we monitor this, and because you signed an NDA, you can't talk about it. And then
no, go ahead.
And then based on that information, he thinks that Elon tried to back out. But
and another thing that people need to remember, and they might not realize this until I say it here, and the only reason I know is because I'm in the media and I deal with this shit for 30 years. If the White House, if you don't do what the White House, and if people don't think that the White House or the government can go into these places and do that with free speech, if you don't think they can do that, I know for a fact that they can and will, and they're not the only entities that do this, but they will call like my media place, and be like, we won't give you the story. We won't give you access to anything. We won't give you interviews. We won't do anything positive for you if you don't do this for us. You scratch our back, we scratch yours. So you want to talk to the president, you want access to do this, NBC, CNN, you want to be able to do this, you tell our, it's the same way with what I've tried to say about the pharmaceutical companies for years, when people would say, something about this doesn't cause this, this. Do you realize how much money pharmaceutical companies pay NBC Nightly News to read their fucking news stories? It's not to read their news stories, it's to run their ads. So do you think if NBC Nightly News is going to have a disparaging news story about Pfizer, and Pfizer spends $20 million a year on NBC, that they're going to let them, that Pfizer is going to let them read a news story about them? No, I'm going to yank my money. And it's the same way with the White House, except they don't do money, they do information. We have that same problem here in my county, and I have bitched about our county judge executive because he doesn't talk to anybody. We had a fucking F4 tornado tear through our county back in December. Remember? Half a mile from my house. Tear through and kill 60-something people in Kentucky or whatnot. And we didn't hear a word from our judge executive. Doesn't say a word because he's a piece of crap. So it's the same way. I mean, same way with if you don't think that they have a back door into Twitter, or they can tell them.
Stuff on
YouTube.
So it's very plausible. It's very plausible.
Especially if JJ, if you owned Twitter, if all the people that own Twitter are a bunch of leftists, of course they're going to want to do that and keep the shit off that they don't agree with.
Right. Well, we talked to. I don't want to get diverted too far from.
I know, and
Twitter, but it's not unrelated.
Road really.
So the Attorney General Jeff Landry said that once Americans' free speech is suppressed by the government, they are subjects and no longer citizens. Quote, the First Amendment was placed there because our founders recognized that when you abridge someone, when the government has the ability to abridge their speech, they are no longer citizens, they are subjects. I mean, that is so good. That's a good line. So our government was engaged in telling social media companies what they could and could not say on their platforms. We started this case back in June. People laughed at us, and then all of a sudden we got past deposition phase. We got past subpoena phase. We were able to subpoena records in emails, and then started uncovering the communications between federal officials and big tech, colluding to shut you up. So these folks believe that they know better than everybody else. These are not people that believe in liberty. These are not people that have a respect for the Constitution. They believe that basically Americans are not citizens. They are really subjects to do the government bidding, and Americans don't have enough responsibility. They don't have enough clear thinking to be able to make decisions on their own. Oh, well, that's not true. White House asked Meta to remove Fauci parody accounts. Meta responded in less than 60 seconds.
60 seconds.
I mean, the government, the current government, the administration, Biden, Democrats, politically aligned with Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook, and Facebook administrative staff, they lean left. Twitter administrative staff, they lean left. So when the White House calls up and says, hey, would you mind, that's not a real account, that wasn't us, would you mind taking that down? They complied. That's collusion. I mean, you know what that is? That is government and business aligning so that the powers of business can be used where the powers of government are limited.
They've been doing that for years. We bailed out the banks years ago. You don't think the banks owe a scratch on the back?
That is the definition
we
of
bailed out everybody.
Fascism.
We've been in a fascism state for years, yes. JJ. God Almighty. Yeah, we don't have free speech. We've been kicked off of YouTube for reading the fucking news.
I mean, one of us has definitely been kicked off of YouTube.
Who is that? Me or you? Which one?
Yeah,
I don't know
it
which
was
one
me.
it is.
It was me.
Oh,
Hey, but I saw your Marvel Snap video. Snap. What'd you think of that game?
I like that
Snap?
game. I've played the crap out of it since that little video.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and there's several MCOCers that play.
Oh really?
Yeah, we all talk.
It's pretty lightweight,
yeah,
I mean, not lightweight. Like it's just like it's only like 100 megabytes or something, so it doesn't take up much space on your phone.
Maximum game is like 3 minutes. I think is like 3 minutes max. And you win, you move up, you play, you get stuff to level up your car.
Can you have friends on there? Be my friend.
No,
Deacon.
you can't.
Okay,
and you can just
it's
in its infant stages. You know how MCOC was.
Yeah.
I mean, if you logged into MCOC right now, you'd be blown away at all of the shit that we on the podcast used to talk about. Hey, we wish we had this, and we wish we had this, and it's almost all there now. And all of
have they fixed the fun problem? Because I complained that like they were doing stuff, but like the biggest problem is that it's not fun.
I will say that they have attempted. I personally don't like this game mode, but almost 95% of almost everybody loves this game mode on there now called Battlegrounds.
Okay.
I can fight you. I think maybe you could. I think I can find you and I could fight you.
Yeah.
But basically, you'll get matched up with someone, and then you've got like 30 guys or however many guys you picked, and then you get to pick. Here's my defenders, and here's my attackers. You don't put them on nodes, but you have like little
pair it up. Yeah.
So I would be like, okay, JJ, my first battle is a freaking Sentinel coming up. Shit. Okay. I only have this person to pick through.
Right. Okay.
So, and then if I beat my guy quicker than you, then I get more points and whatnot. And I'm not a competitive player. And you know that. And I used to say on MCO and on the podcast all the time, I'm not a competitive player. So that type of game mode does not interest me whatsoever. I'm very casual. I want to be able to do it at my pace. And even AQ and War was pushing my competitive playness. And AQ was fine, but War was pushing I didn't want to play against anybody else. There are a lot of other players that are a lot better than me. I will admit I'm not the best MCOC player.
I actually have logged into Marvel Contest of Champions this week, like twice. But
I need to log in and move on AQ actually right now. So
okay, so I played that Battleground. So this is the thing about the contest that was like always the deficit was that you can log in, you can play against other people, but it's not a live fight. You're not live fighting someone.
Snap, and you are.
You are.
Yeah.
Spell Slingers is similar. You're one-on-one heads-up match. I take a turn, you take a turn, I take a turn, you take a turn. Well, Battlegrounds, I actually played that twice, and the way it is as I understand it, you set up your side, they set up their side, and then you fight them, but the AI drives the fight on their side, and they fight you, but the AI drives the fight on your side. So it's not like you're live fighting that fight and they're live responding. It's still not
no,
live.
The AI is fighting their defender, but they are using an attacker fighting your defender at the same time. So
so it's not like you're heads up fighting each other. It's more like you're like
that's what I meant. I'm fighting their guy and they're fighting my guy at the same time.
Like, how have you guys not figured out that like what young people want? The esports industry proves this. What young people want when they're playing video games online against other people is to totally dominate the other person live for real. For real. Yep. Why have you guys not figured out a way to do that yet?
Yeah, since Battlegrounds started, there's been so many of these little tournaments, and some of the other YouTubers and guys making name, bigger content creators are doing these fights and stuff. And I think it's great. I mean, I think it's great for them that they're doing that crap, but it's not my thing. Right. Ghost Dog. Our buddy Ghost Dog is in one of those tournaments I saw. I guess he's pretty. Ghost Dog, I think, has always been a freaking great.
I think he's good. He's very good, right?
Ghost Dog was always. I used to watch him play on his streams and stuff.
Yeah,
and he's a lot better fighter than I was. And me and you went to freaking New York. You know, let me tell you, I used to hate,
Dude,
I
we
hated,
snowballed them.
I did not want to go. I didn't think I was good enough. I told my buddies in my alliance that
I
I
didn't wanna
didn't
go
want to
either.
go, and that they were all better than me, and I didn't want to get up there and make an ass of myself. And then when I got up there, I thought I did pretty good. It was that damn phone, man. It was that damn iPhone, because as
Oh,
we were
yeah, that was
sitting there doing that
a little
practice
different.
run, I noticed it missed that input on me.
Oh, really?
Because I would hit I think I hit the special one, and it took like it just wasn't instant. And then when I fought, I missed that input and cast the special one into his block. And I knew I missed the input right then. And then when I went back and watched, I think it was Rich the Man that was watching the live stream of it. Rich the Man even said, I think that looked like he dropped an input, or however, his accent is. And I was like, even Rich the Man saw that I dropped an input.
Wow. I don't want to remind people that exists on there. I don't want people to go back and watch me.
I always
over.
almost beat Bagel, but
all right.
But what I was getting at was that boosted my self-esteem in the game. I never thought I was that good until I was awesome. It's like, man, I did pretty damn good on there, and I didn't even think it was that hard. Remember sitting in it was the little
makeup chair? No,
not the makeup. No, that other room with all the statues in it, like the waiting area. And and JJ and Bagel and I were scared crapless. And that girl came in and she finally told us that I think we were fighting. We're fighting who do we fight? Thanos?
I don't remember. All I know is that I didn't do a good job. But you know what? The answer to the question would have been use Spider-Gwen. And I can also tell you right now, even knowing that, I wouldn't have been able to do it because I don't know how to use Spider-Gwen like that.
Well, when we figured out who it was, I think it was Maestro or Thanos. I can't remember which one.
Yeah.
And when we figured out, they told us who we were going to be fighting, we all sat there and we were trying to talk, and they showed us a game with our limited number of guys. We could only pick, and they were only 4 stars, like our 3 4-stars, and we could only pick. So we looked through and we were like, this and this, and I think Bagel, or no, it was Dave on one of the other guys, it's on one of the other shows. It's Porky Dave said that Spider-Gwen, that if you don't touch the controller, she auto evades all of the unblockable attacks, and that hit L1 was unblockable. So it was me and Bagel. It was the hardest thing to do was when you seen him do his unblockable to lift your hands off the screen and not do anything.
Yeah, I
wouldn't hard to do that.
I would not be able to do that. Anyway, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was good. Sorry,
my only point was like, I can't believe that they haven't figured out yet how to actually have live combat.
On
you can do it
NCOC?
in all these other kinds of live. You can do it in all kinds of other games. It can't be a data and packet thing.
If your connection drops out in the middle of the damn game, though, if you've got shitty connection,
I mean, I don't know.
They always said that the reason that we couldn't have a help all button, remember they told us the reason we couldn't have a help all button was because the way that it refreshes and recycles when you hit that help all, that if everybody was hitting that damn thing, that it would cause a freaking collapse with all of it coming in at the same time like that. It would cause I don't remember how they put it, but I understood the concept.
Help is also stupid. Okay. I mean, it is. It's so dumb.
No, but Marvel Snap is fun. I've been playing Marvel Snap. It's pretty fun.
All right. So
I spent some free Google survey money on it. So
yeah,
I had like $20 in Google survey money. So I was like, I'll throw a couple bucks at this game. It's entertained me a little bit.
All right. So the question at hand is James Gunn the DCEU's new Superman? And the answer to that question is no, he's not. But he is the new head of Warner Brothers DC Studios. James Gunn and Peter Straffen are named co-heads of Warner Brothers DC Studios. Yesterday, it was announced at the DC Comics film and television division of Warner Brothers Discovery will be headed by James Gunn and Straffen going forward. Their appointments will start November 1st. The announcement comes at a trying time for the newly established Warner Brothers Discovery. After combining Warner Media with Discovery in April, Zaslav has been trying to reinvent the company including by cutting staff and removing content from HBO Max. In order to replicate Disney's level of dependable success with Marvel Studios, Zaslav has been searching for someone to steady the ship at the DC film division, home to superhero marvels like Wonder Woman and Superman. And both
did they
Gunn
really
and
use the
Scrappy-
word superhero marvels?
No.
Okay. I was like, really?
Now, if you'll recall, James Gunn, famously, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy and Guardians of the Galaxy 2, mega hit, huge movies, and also the director of Slither, which is a great movie, and a bunch of stuff in between. But as an edgelord from the early 2000s, he got called out on Twitter for saying something for tweeting something like 10 years ago, and the cancel culture left was like, oh, you can't say this, and they got him fired from Disney. I
thought they hired him back.
They did hire him back after a year. After a year, things cooled down, and people and at the time he got fired from Disney. He went over to DC and he made Suicide Squad.
Oh, that's right.
He made the Suicide Squad spinoff TV show with the toilet bucket head guy, which is a pretty funny show or whatever. And then you don't know the show?
No.
What is it? What is this show? It's with the guy with the gun from Suicide Squad. Maybe this will tell me. Anyway.
Deadshot. What's his name?
I
don't
it's
know
not
DC,
Deadshot.
Man.
It's the one. You don't know DC, right?
No.
It's on. Let me. I'm having a brain fart right now. I can't remember the name of the TV show. But it'll come up in a second.
Okay, it's not a big deal.
So he left. He was fired from Marvel. Picked up a job, Peacekeeper. Thank you, Jeremy. Peacekeeper. So he fired from Marvel, picked up by DC because DC was like, this guy made Guardians of the Galaxy and Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It made a lot of money. Of course, we're gonna hire him. We don't care about his tweets or whatever. And so then the House of Mouse was like, oh, they got our gun. we don't. Where's our money? Meanwhile, everybody in the at the time in the MCU was like, make Guardians 3, make the next Guardians movie. But no, he was fired. So instead, so he went over to DC, made the Suicide Squad sequel, which was better than the first Suicide Squad movie. And he made the TV show and basically rehabilitated his image, was then rehired by Disney, I think currently working on Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And it looks like while he was on that gig, he got head of Warner Brothers DCEU. So I doubt that he will be returning for any further Marvel movies after Guardians 3. So DC has among the most entertaining, powerful, and iconic characters. This is a statement from Zaslav to CNBC.
They do.
Yeah, he says, hey, look, when you own a company, you're trying to pitch something, you got to pitch it. You got to believe in it. You got to sell your product. And by the way, if you haven't already, go to rumble.com/JJW and join the Funslingers.
You're a whore.
I know. I'm so bad. Join Funslingers, join our super secret server and come chat with us. All right. Do you care? I don't think you care. Look, James Gunn's a funny guy. He's
I care. No, don't get me wrong. I care. It's just
I mean, I only so care. Do you want to know who the actual Superman is? The actual Superman?
Sure.
It's Henry Cavill. He's back.
Okay,
after I don't know, half a decade of not being in a Superman, Batman, Justice League movie or whatever. Henry Cavill finally announces his return as Man of Steel.
Is that The Witcher? The guy
he's the Witcher guy.
Oh, okay.
He's the Witcher guy.
He's a good actor. He's versatile, it seems.
You know, he was in the Superman movies.
I haven't watched any of those fucking Superman movies.
All right.
The last Superman movie I watched had Christopher Reeves, the real Superman, in it. Damn it. Oh,
wow.
So
you didn't watch the Brandon Routh Superman Returns?
No.
I thought it was really good.
No.
Right.
I'm not a DC person.
Okay.
There's Marvel movies I hadn't seen. I like him.
There's some Marvel movies I haven't seen too.
I like Henry Cavill though. Cavill.
Okay.
Did you say Cavill?
So Yeah, Henry Cavill. So I guess you don't know. There was Man of Steel, Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, and then there was Batman v Superman and Justice League, and then there was the other Justice League, which was the same movie but longer. Henry Cavill was this.
I mean, is it worth watching any of those DC movies? Are they worth watching? Are they good?
No.
I mean,
Don't
I'm
watch
not
those.
gonna watch them. I'm not gonna waste my. I don't. When I have time,
they're in continuity.
Watch a movie,
so
I want to watch something that I'm gonna regret.
I wouldn't do that. So he's good, but the movies are not. So he was the Superman for the Zack Snyder movies, and then basically when Zack left the Justice League project, Warner Brothers kind of pivoted. They tried to make the Justice League more fun and less awfully toned, and it kind of looked like Henry Cavill was out of a job. Well, thanks almost entirely, I think, to The Rock, who is now in the Black Adam movie. It starts today. So have you seen the ads for Black Adam and The Rock?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
My wife watched that. My wife and I were watching Alaskan Bush People, and the commercial comes up for Black Adam, and my wife looked at it, and then it got to the end, and she was like, "Why would I want to watch that?" And I was like, "I don't know." She's like, "What's that about?" And I was like, I don't know. The Rock is a superhero, and like, and she's like, "Who's the guy with the wings?" And then immediately after that, she said, "Never mind, I don't care." Anyway,
her and Ashley would get along so well.
Yeah, I know. Do you know how much stuff she puts up with for me?
Yes, Ashley too. She used to just sit there, and I could see her eyes glaze over when I was talking about MCOC. And then you do an L3. She's like,
She was like, "Who is Black Adam?" And I was like, "Well, 5,000 years ago." And she said, "Stop, I don't care." So anyway, Superman is back in a cameo in Black Adam, and that means that he will be reprising his role in further Superman movies. I think he has a statement here that basically The Rock used his super rock power and box office draw to deal with Warner Brothers and get Henry Cavill back as Superman and parlay that into further Superman. So hopefully Henry Cavill will get to be in a Superman movie that isn't Zack Snyder-fied and is good. We'll see. He is a good Superman, but the Zack Snyder movies are not good Superman movies. So anyway, we got it's the dawn of hope. It's the beginning of a new old era that is the same as but different from the past. So Henry Cavill is the new Superman, and he reports to James Gunn. It's great. It's good news.
Okay.
Yeah. Jordan says that he wants I want a Warhammer 40K movie with Henry as the main character.
That'd be cool. Okay.
I am desperately, and that's probably the wrong word, tragically underinformed as to Warhammer. Let me tell you everything I know about Warhammer. It's a game that you play on a table with little plastic guys.
It's a war game,
and that's all I know.
It's a war strategy game, and it's very interesting. It just costs a butt ton of money, and but a war movie like that, I agree with Jordan 100%. Yeah.
Jeremy says Henry is perfect for Superman. And I think I agree. Not only is he like stacked with all of the muscles, very little of that is suit, but he's got the chiseled jaw, he's got the look, he's got the, whatever.
He looks good for Superman, but I thought all of them looked good. That Brandon guy, I thought, he looked like a good Superman. And
so in retrospect, if you go back to Brandon Routh, especially since he was on the didn't you watch the Legion of Superheroes show there was that they had the spinoff from the Green Arrow thing? Did you watch that? Jeremy, what was that show called?
Legends of Tomorrow?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
you watched that. So Brandon Routh was in that, and he played the Atom.
Oh, he was the Atom. Oh yeah,
yes.
He did a great job as that. He would look good as a Superman. I didn't know who that was. I was thinking of the young guy. Who's the young guy that played Superman?
That's Brandon Routh.
Oh, that's
Brandon Routh. Played the Atom in the mid and late 2010s.
When was he Superman?
I heard he forgot the name of it. Back in 2005, there was a movie called Superman Returns, directed by Bryan Singer of the X-Men 1, 2, 3 or 1 and 2 movies.
Yeah, I know.
And Brandon Routh played Superman, but he played specifically the Christopher Reeve's Superman. So he actually put on an impression of Reeve, and there were some parts where he did very good. He obviously looks different, but he put on some of those affectations, like the glasses and just kind of the demeanor, and he did a fantastic job.
Oh, the way that he acted in the Atom, I can see him acting Clark Kent very well, because he was he does a good job as a bumbling kind of a
yes. Yeah, and I think like his Adam portrayal is more closely similar to his actual persona, his own self.
Oh, he made you love that character. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. His 2005. That was 10 years, 12 years earlier for him in his career. So he was a much younger actor. Okay. So his he didn't do as. Anyway, it's worth revisiting for sure. And then. I swear I cannot remember the name of that TV show, but they had a special where he came back as the Superman Returns 2005 movie version of Superman. But so he played two characters. He played both Adam and Superman in that DC. TV show.
Oh, okay.
And he played the Kingdom Come version of Superman, older, white hair. Lois had died. So it was very interesting. In my I thought he did a very good job. So it's.
I think that was a spinoff that was on Legend of Tomorrow too, because I think maybe
it was a special that I
thought I remember seeing him as an older Superman.
Yeah, that was the Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah,
they had
it was one of those CW things that goes through every show. And the Legends of Tomorrow had one, so I had to go back and watch one episode of every freaking show. Yeah, it was good.
David says we're almost done here, but I got comments. I'm gonna give them their due. David said that he actually liked the Man of Steel movie, but didn't like the Return of Superman movie. And Man of Steel is not the worst movie. Some stuff really doesn't make sense, like Superman who totally has superpowers, letting his dad get taken up by a tornado. Doesn't make sense. Some other stuff. Anyway, okay. Not only are my kids awake, we have a sleepover kid also. So we got so I got 3 kids this morning. My goddaughter, does she count as goddaughter?
She is goddaughter.
Okay.
Goddaughter to her younger sister. I think it's my property.
Look how much I know. Yeah, so technically my wife is godmother to her sister about to be born. So I guess you have a sister.
I can't refuse.
So somehow the family math works out that we'll just goddaughter to all of them. Godfather to all of them.
That's pretty nice. You're the godfather. That's pretty sweet.
All right. That's all the news that we have today. I remind you guys that we do this show Monday through Friday at 6:30 in the morning. Hey, Deacon, you don't know this, but over on our Funslinger server, during the middle of the day, some of the guys, we actually get on a voice channel and we'll talk about all kinds of stuff. I have learned some fascinating stuff about nuclear submarines.
Wow.
And elections in Virginia because I'm hanging out on the Funslinger server. So you should actually.
And honestly, I have been over there sneaking around, lurking. I'm that guy behind the bushes. If you see that guy behind the bushes in the server, that's me. Okay, that's me standing back there. Yeah. Say hello. But I have been standing over next to the dessert table, and I have seen some very interesting recipes on our server as well.
Oh yes, there are a lot. People were sending me messages asking why you were standing behind the bushes and why you weren't wearing any other clothes. So I was like, guys, just ask him. He's right there. I don't know.
Come
I don't
talk
know
to the man without pants on. The man without pants does want to talk to you.
Yeah. All right. That's all we got today. Tomorrow, what day is today? Is today Wednesday?
Thursday.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Yay.
Tomorrow's Friday. What are we going to do tomorrow? We got to do something fun for tomorrow because we got Halloween coming up Monday. I don't know. We'll have to think about it. We'll see what happens. Goodbye, everybody. We love you. See you later. Outro. Cute.